Listen to this carefully. This is Mr. James Baldwin, a true genius and a great human being.
It is said that the camera cannot lie, but rarely do we allow it to do anything else. Since the camera sees what you pointed at, the camera sees what you want it to see. It seems to be typical of life in America, where opportunities, real and fancied, are thicker than anywhere else on the globe, that the second generation has no time to talk to the first. The root function of language is to control the universe by describing it. The victim who is able to articulate the situation of the victim has ceased to be a victim. He or she has become a threat. All I know about music is that not many people ever really hear it. And even then, on the rare occasions when something opens within, and the music enters, what we mainly hear, or hear corroborated, are personal, private, vanishing evocations. But the man who creates the music is hearing something else, is dealing with the roar rising from the void and imposing order on it as it hits the air. What is evoked in him, then, is of another order, more terrible because it has no words, and triumphant, too, for that same reason. And his triumph, when he triumphs, is ours. If all you want to do is make money, the very last thing you need is imagination. One cannot deny the humanity of another without diminishing one's own. Talent is insignificant. I know a lot of talented ruins. Beyond talent lie all the usual words: discipline, love, luck, but, most of all, endurance. People pay for what they do, and still more for what they have allowed themselves to become, and they pay for it, very simply, by the lives they lead. But don't lose heart, dear ones. Don't lose heart. Don't let it make you bitter. Try to understand. Try to understand. The world's already bitter enough. We got to try to be better than the world. Love takes off the masks that we fear we cannot live without and know we cannot live within. I use the word love here not merely in the personal sense, but as a state of being, or a state of grace, not in the infantile American sense of being made happy, but in the tough and universal sense of quest and daring and growth. To be black and conscious in America is to be in a constant state of rage. Be careful what you set your heart upon, for it will surely be yours. You cannot fix what you will not face. Trust life, and it will teach you, in joy and sorrow, all you need to know. For, while the tale of how we suffer, and how we are delighted, and how we may triumph is never new, it always must be heard. There isn't any other tale to tell. It's the only light we've got in all this darkness. The rebirth of the soul is perpetual. Only rebirth every hour could stay the hand of Satan. All women had been cursed from the cradle, all, in one fashion or another, being given the same cruel destiny, born to suffer the weight of men. I love America more than any other country in the world, and, exactly for this reason, I insist on the right to criticize her perpetually. The aim of the dreamer is merely to go on dreaming and not to be molested by the world. His dreams are his protection against the world. One thing about the bottom, he told himself, you can't fall any further. He tried to take comfort from this thought. Yet there knocked in his heart the suspicion that the bottom did not really exist. I am what time, circumstance, history have made of me, certainly, but I am also much more than that. So are we all. Those who say it can't be done are usually interrupted by others doing it. Perhaps he is a fool or a coward, but almost everybody is one or the other, and most people are both. The purpose of education is to create in a person the ability to look at the world for himself, to make his own decisions. And love will simply have no choice but to go into battle with space and time, and furthermore, to win. You don't realize that you're intelligent until it gets you into trouble. It is rare indeed that people give. Most people guard and keep. They suppose that it is they themselves and what they identify with themselves that they are guarding and keeping, whereas what they are actually guarding and keeping is their system of reality and what they assume themselves to be. I conceive of God, in fact, as a means of liberation and not a means to control others. You think your pain and your heartbreak are unprecedented in the history of the world, but then you read. It was Dostoevsky and Dickens who taught me that the things that tormented me most were the very things that connected me with all the people who were alive, or who ever had been alive. Only if we face these open wounds in ourselves can we understand them in other people. People are full of surprise, even for themselves, if they have been stirred enough. People who treat other people as less than human must not be surprised when the bread they have cast on the waters comes floating back to them, poisoned. The paradox of education is precisely this, that as one begins to become conscious, one begins to examine the society in which he is being educated.
Wow, what a great soul. Anyway, have a good night.